Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to take you on a journey, one that moves beyond mere physical presence and into the invisible field of human connection. You see, emotions are not just fleeting feelings, they are energy, waves of information traveling through time and space. When someone truly misses you, it's not just a thought in their mind, it's a vibrational frequency their entire being is radiating. Science has shown that our hearts generate electromagnetic fields that can be detected several feet away. And what's even more fascinating is that when we are emotionally connected to someone, we leave an imprint in their subconscious. This is why, even in silence, even in distance, we can feel when someone is thinking about us. But how do you recognize the signs that he misses you? Deeply, profoundly, even at the level of his subconscious mind? Let's explore the 5 key indicators. He feels you even when you're not there. Neuroscience tells us that familiar experiences wire the brain in patterns of memory. When someone misses you deeply, their brain is replaying the moments shared, activating the same neurological pathways as when you were physically present. If he tells you that he feels your presence, that he randomly thinks about you at odd hours, it's because his mind is still living in your. You appear in his conversations and actions. Our subconscious mind controls 95% of our daily behavior. When he misses you deeply, you start appearing in his speech, in his references, in the little choices he makes. Perhaps he mentions an old joke you shared, listens to a song that reminds him of you, or picks up habits he once learned from you. These are not coincidences. They are manifestations of his emotional connection. He reaches out in unexpected ways. Quantum physics suggests that we are all connected by energy. This is why when someone misses you profoundly, their thoughts eventually translate into action. You might get a late-night text, a sudden call, or a message saying, "I was just thinking about you." This is his subconscious mind seeking alignment with the energy he feels. His emotional state changes in your absence. When a person is emotionally attached, their nervous system responds to separation. He may appear restless, distracted, or even emotionally withdrawn when you're not around. This isn't just a feeling. It's a biochemical shift in his body, a withdrawal from the emotional high he experienced in your presence. He finds ways to stay connected to you. If he truly misses you on a deep level, he will find ways to keep the connection alive. This may not always be direct communication. It could be as subtle as liking an old photo, bringing up memories in conversation with mutual friends, or even holding on to a piece of you. Missing someone isn't just an emotional reaction, it's a biological and energetic experience. The field of heart coherence tells us that emotions like love, longing, and connection create a measurable impact on the body's electromagnetic field. This means that when you feel that pull towards someone, when you sense that they're thinking of you, it's not just your imagination. It's energy at play. If you recognize these signs, understand that what you share with this person is not just a memory. It is an imprint on the very fabric of your being. The question now is, how will you respond to this energy? Will you tune into it, acknowledge it, and decide where this connection leads? Because in the end, love isn't just a feeling. It's the most powerful force of creation, one that transcends time, space, and even the mind itself. Emotional connections are not just psychological experiences, they are deeply embedded within the brain and body. When two people form a strong bond, their neural pathways intertwine, creating a lasting imprint. This is why even after separation, the presence of a loved one lingers in the mind. When a man misses you deeply, his subconscious continues to replay moments spent together, activating the same neurological circuits as when you were physically present. The brain operates through a network of electrical signals, and memory formation is a process of reinforcing these connections. Every conversation, every shared experience, and every emotional exchange creates a neural map that links you to him. When he recalls these moments, his brain produces the same biochemical responses associated with love, comfort, and familiarity. This is why missing someone is not just a passive thought. It is an active experience within the nervous system. Furthermore, the subconscious mind does not differentiate between past and present experiences. It responds to emotions in real time. When he misses you, his body reacts as if you are still with him. This can manifest in unexpected ways. He may suddenly feel warmth or comfort as if he just received a hug from you. He might hear your voice in his head, replaying past. Even his heart rate and breathing patterns can shift when he thinks about you, mirroring the physiological effects of your presence. Beyond the brain, the heart plays a significant role in emotional connection. Studies in heart coherence show that emotional bonds generate electromagnetic signals that extend beyond the physical body. This means that when he is deeply missing you, his heart is sending out energetic waves that mirror the emotions he feels. In some cases, you might even sense it. Have you ever thought of someone just moments before they texted you? That is not coincidence. It is a subtle form of energetic communication that happens when two people are connected on a deeper level. When someone feels your presence even when you are not there, it indicates that the bond is still alive within them. This is more than just nostalgia. It is the result of an emotional and neurological pattern that has not faded. He might find himself drawn to places you used to go together, instinctively replaying past experiences in his mind. Even the smallest triggers, a scent, a song, a familiar phrase, can reignite those neural circuits, pulling him back into the emotional space you once shared. The subconscious works on repetition and association. If you were an important part of his daily life, the sudden absence creates a void that his mind tries to fill. This is why missing someone deeply is not always a conscious choice. It is a neurological and emotional response that occurs naturally. His thoughts will drift toward you even when he is engaged in something else, because the mind seeks to return to familiar emotional states. This is why emotional bonds do not simply fade overnight. If he truly misses you, it means your presence has become a part of his mental and emotional framework, something that remains alive in his subconscious even in your absence. The experience of missing someone is not just emotional, it is deeply rooted in the brain's neurochemistry and the body's physiological responses. When a strong emotional bond is formed, the brain creates a network of associations that link a person to feelings of love, security, and attachment. These neural pathways do not disappear when physical presence is lost. Instead, they continue to fire, reinforcing the emotional longing. This is why when a person misses someone, they are not merely thinking about them, they are reliving the connection on a biological level. One of the key elements involved in missing someone is the brain's reward system, which is governed by dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for pleasure, motivation, and reinforcement of behaviors. When two people share meaningful experiences, the brain releases dopamine, creating a strong sense of joy and fulfillment. Over time, the presence of a loved one becomes associated with these positive emotions. When that presence is removed, the brain experiences a drop in dopamine levels, leading to feelings of emptiness, sadness, and longing. This is why people often feel a deep emotional void when they are separated from someone they love. It is a neurochemical withdrawal similar to what happens in addiction. Another critical factor in the science of missing someone is oxytocin, often referred to as the bonding hormone. Oxytocin plays a crucial role in forming emotional attachments, strengthening trust, and deepening intimacy. When two people spend time together, oxytocin levels rise, reinforcing the feeling of closeness. However, when separation occurs, oxytocin levels decline, leading to a sense of emotional discomfort. This is why someone who truly misses you may experience an intense craving for connection, even if they do not always express it verbally. Additionally, the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for processing emotions, plays a role in how deeply someone feels your absence. When a person associates you with safety, love, or comfort, the amygdala encodes these emotions into long-term memory. When they are reminded of you, even unconsciously, the amygdala triggers an emotional response, causing them to feel your absence on a profound level. This can result in spontaneous thoughts about you, emotional shifts, or even dreams where they reconnect with you subconsciously. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is another factor that influences how much someone misses you. Prolonged separation from someone deeply cherished can increase cortisol levels, leading to restlessness, anxiety, and a heightened emotional state. This explains why someone who truly misses you may struggle to focus, experience disrupted sleep, or feel an unexplainable sense of longing. The body is reacting to the emotional distress of disconnection, reinforcing the need for reunion. The science of missing someone reveals that it is not just a fleeting thought, but a full-body experience that engages multiple areas of the brain and nervous system. From neurochemical imbalances to subconscious emotional triggers, missing someone is a deeply embedded process that affects a person's thoughts, emotions, and even physical well-being. When a person truly misses you, their entire being, mind, heart, and body is responding to the void left by your absence. When someone deeply misses you, their behavior and energy reflect their emotional state, often in ways that they themselves may not fully recognize. The human brain and body are wired to respond to emotional attachments, and when a significant person is absent, these responses manifest through both conscious actions and subconscious signals. While some signs are overt, others are subtle, revealing themselves through patterns of behavior, nonverbal cues, and even shifts in energy. One of the most telling signs is the way a person engages in everyday conversations. Even when they are not consciously trying to bring you up, your name, shared memories, or things associated with you find their way into discussions. This happens because the brain naturally recalls information that is emotionally significant, often without deliberate intent. He might mention a place you both visited, refer to an inside joke, or even repeat phrases you used to say. These are not just random thoughts, but subconscious expressions of his longing for connection. Another behavioral sign is an increased presence in your digital space. If he frequently checks your social media, engages with your posts, or even revisits old conversations, it indicates that he is seeking a way to feel close to you. The human brain finds comfort in familiarity, and scrolling through pictures, messages, or memories triggers the same emotional responses as experiencing them in real time. Even something as simple as liking an old post or watching your stories can be a way for him to remain energetically connected. Body language also reveals emotional yearning. When someone deeply misses another person, their subconscious movements often mimic past interactions. He may unknowingly gravitate toward places you used to frequent together or adopt mannerisms you once pointed out. Additionally, if you happen to see him in person, his body language might display signs of emotional longing, prolonged eye contact, slight nervousness, or an increased focus on your presence in a group setting. These involuntary cues indicate that his mind is still attuned to you. Emotional fluctuations are another powerful sign. When a person deeply misses you, their mood and energy levels shift depending on reminders of you. They may become unusually quiet, introspective, or distant when something triggers a memory of your time together. Conversely, they may become more talkative, nostalgic, or even playful when they get the opportunity to interact with you again. These fluctuations are a reflection of the emotional impact you have on their inner world. Dreams and subconscious thoughts also play a role in emotional connection. If he is missing you intensely, he may dream about you, wake up thinking about you, or experience unexpected memories resurfacing throughout the day. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between past and present emotions. It simply recalls experiences that hold emotional weight. This is why, even if he tries to suppress his feelings, they often emerge in dreams or random moments of reflection. Ultimately, behavior and energy are powerful indicators of emotional attachment. When someone truly misses you, their thoughts and emotions naturally manifest through actions, habits, and even the unseen energy they project. These signs go beyond words, revealing a deep emotional bond that continues to exist even in your absence. When someone deeply misses you, their emotional state undergoes noticeable shifts, even if they try to suppress or hide their feelings. The human brain and body are deeply interconnected, and emotions influence physiological and psychological responses in ways that cannot always be controlled. Separation from someone meaningful creates an internal imbalance, leading to changes in mood, behavior, and overall well-being. These changes are not random. They are the result of the mind and body reacting to the emotional void left by your absence. One of the most apparent signs of this shift is restlessness. When a person misses someone they are emotionally connected to, their nervous system experiences a form of withdrawal. The same way the brain becomes accustomed to the presence of a loved one, it also struggles to adjust when that presence is removed. This can manifest as difficulty focusing, a sense of unease, or an inability to engage fully in activities they once enjoyed. Even simple tasks may feel different or less fulfilling because a subconscious part of them is longing for that familiar emotional connection. Another indication of emotional change is an increase in nostalgia. The mind naturally seeks comfort by revisiting past experiences that brought joy, security, and warmth. When he misses you deeply, he may find himself reminiscing about your time together, replaying conversations, or even revisiting places that remind him of you. This is because the brain encodes emotionally significant experiences in a way that makes them easily retrievable, especially in moments of longing. Whether consciously or unconsciously, he may seek out anything that keeps your memory alive, from listening to songs you both enjoyed to wearing a scent that reminds him of you. His mood may also fluctuate unpredictably. Someone who is deeply missing another person often experiences waves of emotions, ranging from sadness and loneliness to irritation or even withdrawal from social interactions. This happens because the emotional center of the brain, particularly the amygdala and limbic system, responds to the absence of a strong attachment. If he suddenly becomes more reserved, less engaged in conversations, or seems distracted even when surrounded by others, it is likely because his thoughts are consumed by the emotional gap left by your absence. In some cases, this emotional shift can even manifest physically. Missing someone intensely can lead to a stress response, increasing cortisol levels in the body. This can result in disrupted sleep patterns, a lack of appetite, or even physical fatigue. When the brain perceives emotional distress, it sends signals to the body, which may explain why he seems more tired than usual or struggles to maintain his usual routine. The body reacts to emotional separation in the same way it would respond to physical stress, reinforcing just how deeply emotions impact overall well-being. The emotional and physiological changes caused by missing someone are not just fleeting moments of sadness. They are real, measurable reactions that indicate a strong attachment. The mind, heart, and body are all interconnected, and when someone truly longs for you, their entire being reflects that longing in ways they may not even recognize. When someone deeply misses you, they will find ways to stay connected, even if direct communication is limited. Human beings are wired for attachment, and when a strong emotional bond is formed, the subconscious mind seeks ways to maintain that connection. This need for closeness does not always manifest in obvious ways. Instead, it often appears through subtle actions, habits, and behaviors that reveal an ongoing emotional investment. One of the most telling signs is a continued presence in your life, even from a distance. He may not always reach out directly, but he finds ways to stay in your orbit. This could be through mutual friends, social media engagement, or casual check-ins that may seem insignificant on the surface, but hold deeper meaning. Whether it is liking an old photo, commenting on something you post, or even watching your stories without interacting, these are subconscious ways of keeping that emotional thread intact. The brain naturally gravitates toward people who hold emotional significance, and even when there is no direct contact, the need to remain connected still influences behavior. Another common sign is holding on to things that remind him of you. Physical objects have a strong link to memory, and when a person misses someone, they may cling to reminders of them, whether it is a gift you gave, an item of clothing, or even something as simple as a song or movie you both enjoyed. The subconscious mind associates these objects with the emotions experienced in your presence, making them a source of comfort. Revisiting these tangible reminders is a way of reliving the conversation more often than he realizes. Even if he does not directly reach out to you, he might talk about you to friends, mention you in passing, or refer to shared experiences. This happens because the brain naturally recalls emotionally significant people and events, especially in moments of introspection or longing. The more he finds ways to integrate you into his present reality, the stronger the indication that you still hold an important place in his life. His actions may also reflect an attempt to maintain alignment with you. This could be as subtle as continuing habits or routines that you introduced to him. Perhaps he still visits a place you both loved, listens to music you recommended, or even adopts small habits that he picked up from your time together. These unconscious behaviors demonstrate that your influence remains a part of his daily life. Energy and intuition play a role as well. Sometimes missing someone transcends logic and appears as an unspoken connection. Sudden thoughts of you, dreams, or an inexplicable feeling of presence. Many people have experienced thinking about someone right before receiving a message from them. This phenomenon is linked to the deep emotional and energetic bond that persists even when communication is absent. When someone truly misses you, they do not simply forget and move on. Instead, they find ways to hold on to the connection, whether consciously or subconsciously. Their actions, thoughts, and even the smallest details of their daily lives reflect the impact you have had on them. When someone deeply misses you, their efforts to reconnect become evident in their actions, words, and even their energy. The human mind and heart naturally seek emotional closure or reconnection when a strong bond has been disrupted. Whether consciously or unconsciously, a person who truly longs for you will find ways to re-enter your life, even if it is subtle at first. One of the most obvious ways this manifests is through direct communication. If he reaches out unexpectedly, even under the guise of something casual, it is often a sign that he has been thinking about you. He may ask about something insignificant just to start a conversation, or he might check in to see how you have been doing. These small interactions are not random. They are driven by the subconscious desire to reconnect. even if he is hesitant to admit it. The brain craves familiarity, and when a person misses you, they instinctively seek to reestablish that sense of comfort and connection. Beyond direct messages, he might attempt to create opportunities to see you again. This could mean showing up at places you frequent, attending events where you might be present, or even reconnecting with mutual friends as a way to bridge the gap. These encounters might seem coincidental, but often they are intentional. When someone truly misses you, they look for ways to be in your proximity, whether they acknowledge it or not. The brain's reward system associates certain people with happiness, and just being near you can trigger those feelings once again. Social media is another way people attempt to reestablish a connection. If he suddenly becomes more active in viewing your stories, liking old posts, or subtly engaging with content related to you, it is a clear indicator that he is trying to remain in your world. Sometimes he may post things that he knows will catch your attention, songs, quotes, or even pictures that hold meaning to both of you. These digital breadcrumbs serve as indirect ways of reaching out, hoping you will notice and possibly respond. Memory plays a powerful role in reconnection. If he brings up shared experiences, inside jokes, or moments that were meaningful between you, it is because those memories are still vivid in his mind. This is a way of reliving the emotional connection and seeing if you still feel the same way. Nostalgia is a strong force that pulls people back together, and someone who truly misses you will often reference the past as a way to rebuild a future connection. Even if he does not explicitly say he wants to reconnect, his actions will reveal it. He may show extra attentiveness, make an effort to understand your current life, or display subtle signs of nervousness or excitement when interacting with you. The body responds to emotional longing, and whether through words, actions, or energy, a person who deeply misses you will always find a way to make their presence known. True emotional bonds do not fade easily, and when someone is meant to be in your life, their attempts to reconnect will eventually surface. In conclusion, the deep emotional bond between two people transcends time, space, and even physical absence. When someone misses you profoundly, their brain and body react in complex and often subconscious ways. These signs are not just fleeting moments. They are expressions of a deep connection that remains alive in their thoughts, emotions, and energy. From feeling your presence even when you're apart to adjusting their behavior, reaching out through subtle channels, and even experiencing shifts in their mood and energy, each sign is a testament to the emotional impact you've had on their life. The science behind emotional attachment reveals that missing someone is a full-body experience, one that engages the mind, the heart, and even the subconscious. When someone misses you, it is not just a thought in their mind, it is a vibration in their being, a longing that reverberates through their body. And even though this longing may not always be verbalized, it is evident in the small ways they stay connected, seek closeness, or try to reestablish the bond you once shared. Ultimately, understanding these signs allows us to see the true depth of human connection. Love and longing are not just emotions, they are powerful forces that shape our behavior, influence our thoughts, and guide our actions. When you recognize these signs, it is not only a reflection of how much someone misses you, it is a reminder that the connection between you is far stronger than physical distance or time apart. Love, after all, is an energy that doesn't fade. It endures, it grows, and it finds its way back into our lives in the most unexpected ways.